Hey, Katie Boo. I didn't forget your name. I just was wondering if I should start this with Dear Diarrhea, diarrhea full of bullshit, or if that would be, like not, polite to say that way. But anyway, I brought in some rocks for you to look at. I shall show you. Just real quick, okay? This one, there's nothing really too special about it. It just sort of looks like a jelly bean. Actually, now it doesn't. Now that I look at it, but kids like infants, little bebés, they kind of look like jelly beans with legs, and so do their little clothes. Like their little onesie outfits and whatnot. So whatever, you want one of those? Yeah. This, I don't remember where I found this. This is not like a natural rock. I don't think anyway. They polish them, so they sell them and shit. So whatever. This one just sort of looked kind of smooth and creamy, which reminded me of you. What? What's this shit on my fingernail? I don't know. So yeah. This one looks like it was dipped in some sort of something. So does this one. So does this one. These rocks, I don't remember where I found these, if I found them at my new job or what. This looks like it's possibly some sort of petrified something. Maybe a chip of bone, perhaps? Who knows? So I'm gonna keep those in my driveway. Keep this. Here's another little something that looks like it might be petrified something. This looks like it's petrified like mud. Perhaps it's a dinosaur turd? No, it's layered. So it could just be a rock. This right here, this is petrified wood, no doubt, through and through. So I'm saving that. Again, I don't remember where I found that, but I found it on the ground. So this one, and I've got more. This is just where I'm whatever. This one I just sort of saved because it like broke and it kind of looks like a scoop. Big whoopty fuckity foo woo, right? This one's kind of speckled, as you can see. This one looks like maybe it's different colors. And then you flip it over and it's got those two colors like in here, right? So, what are the odds you're going to find a rock like that? I'm not sure what this is. Again, maybe some sort of like layered mud. And it looks like maybe, it went to like this one. I found these a lot at my other job site. Again, they look kind of like they were like mud somehow, and you see they're kind of layered. I don't know what they are, honestly. There's probably some sort of internet, software that you can like take a picture of the rock and it'll show you what it is. I know my dad has them on his phone. You can take a picture of a tree and it'll show what it is. You like long ones? Oh yeah. You like longer ones? Yeah, well, now we're talking. Speckled, no less. Perhaps maybe you're into the speckled, but a little shorter, but fatter. Yeah, now we're talking. But, it would be nice if you could get, like, the in-between, you know what I'm saying? But, good long rocks are hard to find. And this here, well, you can see why I picked this one out. It's a motherfucking zebra rock. So is this one. It's kind of speckled. And so is this one. It's got some zebra stripes on it. This is what thong underwear looked like during the Iron Age. Wouldn't want to rub my willy on that. But, so I will save the petrified wood. I will save the zebra rocks. I will save the speckled rocks. I'll save this mud shit because it also kind of has nostalgia for when I was working at the what have you. These long, slender rocks, shit, I'll probably save them too. I forgot to show this one. This one's not like super duper. It's just sort of like flat across there, you know. So I don't know. It looks like maybe it could be a mouth, an eye, and a tail. All it's missing is some fins this way, and maybe some stabilizer fins on the back, and it could be a fish. Now it looks like a Greenland shark. You know what a Greenland shark is? Look it up, stupid. And it looks like it kind of has some stripes in it. So I'll save that one too. You see, you know what that's called, Katie Boo? Dear sweet wife of mine. I mean, if I wasn't a troll, did shit like that, and this wasn't complete and utter fucking bullshit, that's called creativity. You look at things and you see how they could be turned into other things or represent other things as is. Kind of like ASMR videos don't necessarily have to be the same template, just with a different outfit and a different person. She's wearing a blue shirt, she's wearing a brown shirt. No, I didn't eat anything. You know, you can step outside the box if you want to. So yeah, I'm gonna save the dipped rocks, the petrified, the zebra stripes, the speckled, the mud thing, the fish, and the long rocks. These other rocks over here, though, I'm gonna toss them out in my driveway. Another thing that happened, I found that I have a rock. It's shaped like a moon, like a crescent moon. It's still on my floorboard. I'll bring it in. And I shit you not, I found like it was like a blue rock. And I tried to catch it, but I couldn't. And I also found like a purple rock, but I couldn't catch that. Because I was trying to catch clay, and then I saw that, and I was like, whoa, and I missed it. I wish I would have, because of that A3 song, or the beer. It's decent beer, I guess. It's not filtered, so if you pour it in a glass, it's all cloudy and shit. Right now I got some Miller High Life in my fridge and Red Stripe. That's what I got. Before that, I drank some good old-fashioned Budweiser. I'm about blue mooned out, man. I think next I'll buy Guinness. That's what I'll buy. A ladybug flew into my head. You know, it bonked me, you know. And then it flew away. So, you know, Katie Bug. It could also be Mrs. Butthead, though, because there was one time where I was in the trailer, like, checking on my uniforms. She was like, hey, you sexy bitch, if you want to go ahead and get undressed, you go right ahead. And I didn't say that. I should have said, oh, you just want to see me take my shirt off and see this Chippendale's body, don't you? Don't you? And she probably laughed and giggled and shit. And, but, me being me. And I should have in hindsight, but I was just like, whatever, bitch. Or whatever. Probably said, bullshit. You stupid or something? But, what in the hell? So I walked out, and I'm like, see ya. And she's like, bye. And, she's all, oh, super dude, oh, my, come back, please, come back. So I turned around and walked up, all casually. If I was Puss Boy, I would have turned around and, ran and tripped and, bonked my shin and got up and, what is it? What is it? What is it, Mrs. Butthead? But I just walked in, like, And she's like, look. And there was a bug in her hair, and, And I remember I did something stupid. I took a pair of scissors, and I was like, and I realized, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? So then I just picked it up and tossed it outside and was like, "Arr," and walked out. But so it might have something to do with that too. And then, well, I say that because she's, desperately wants to have sex with me, stalking me, obsessed with me, wants to wife me up and rub her body up against me and all that shit. Like I said, should I be flattered or offended? And like I said, her friend Kleber and hoes before bros and all that bullshit, selfish, she's respecting her wants, wishes, needs, and desires. And in the meantime, she's also fucking married to a chump who, if, as far as her standards go, he's still a Greek god. That's where that whole shit started. It's like, shit, this guy is not only a 10, he's a 210, in her world. And I don't know what other bullshit she's done. Like I said, she's probably got a body count of around 55. I just know that during the time that I'm aware of, I think it was the leprechaun first, then Puss Boy, and then that weird chump up there, Wyoming. I don't know why I'm trying to keep that on the down low, but there's a warehouse up there that we used to go to quite a bit, haul out of there, and that's that. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, man. About, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks later, I saw, so that day up there, when uniform, she was wearing like this scarf, right? And I believe she had on like white tennis shoes. And I remember because I was walking behind her up the stairs, and I remember thinking, this bitch is wide. Because like I said, that one time sitting out there, and she walked out with the ass, and both me and the guy behind my eye were like, this is new. And I remember like consulting with him silently. I'm like, how long has it been since we looked at Mrs. Butthead's ass? Because I look at all chicks' asses, when they're walking away and stuff. And he's like, I don't know, I don't remember. I was like, has it been like 4 months? Because I mean, this is new. Anyway, so that's that. And then again, she was like a little mini Mrs. What do I call her? Couple peanut, but wide load. I don't know. This is that shit. It says on my birth certificate, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, but my name's Ashley Cup of Peanut Butter, Heard her say that like 6 times just by chance, so that means she probably said it, 100 times a day. I don't know. Because, it's like, my name is not actually Tomato, it's Tomato. So, one of those deals. So she was like a mini version of that. I mean, that chick had to use 2 chairs, okay? She had to turn sideways to walk into the doors. And you could still see where the paint was kind of rubbing off where she'd forget. She'd like be walking along and just, and then she's like stuck, right? So she'd have to like lean into it and, and pop out. But, and plus she doesn't want to like, it's embarrassing, right? So maybe she wouldn't turn it off, And the one time I was talking shit, and then she was walking between me and a table, and I had to like turn sideways. She would have like hip checked me through the glass, through the window. So I'm not sure if she like heard that or was just like, fuck you motherfucker anyway or whatever, but because maybe she was a secret fan, why wouldn't be, she right? Because little Miss Poop Emoji, who was built like a poop emoji, she could all that sitting, she was built like a triangle. Kind of like that purple McDonald's thing, which is also kind of what the couple peanut butter was built like, but she was just built like that in the ass. She was normal from the waist up, and then it was, So she actually used 2 chairs when she was sitting at her desk, one for each ass cheek. Little Miss Poop Emoji just had one chair. Like I said, I call her that. You don't get to choose the nicknames because she was kind of built like that. She was kind of giving clues and hints. I'd do this thing, and she'd be like, "Yo, what's up?" And I'd be like, "It's funny you should mention that because whatever." I don't care. You know what I mean? And Mrs. Butthead did the same thing. She was kind of giving clues. She said, "Please talk to me. Please, sweep me off my feet. Ride up on your trusty steed." And me being me, I'm just like, I don't know you. I don't want nothing to do with you. nudes. So, I mean, unless her name's Katie Bug. Because she's like a sweet, good Christian girl, right? Which is like, I mean, Mrs. Butthead is fucking married to a motherfucker as a contingency plan, just in case I don't work out. So she's, that's who I'm dealing with, okay? She's, dated puss boy. Dated and fucked and dated. Probably even put his dick in her mouth. Just to get out the house and have something to do, So, I mean, the fucking leprechaun, good God, man. Things that make you go, buh. But, and who the hell knows? Like I said, I extrapolate. She may have had slow years, fast years. That week in Vegas where she hooked up with 7 dudes in 5 days. But overall, it kind of averages out to about 55. That's a lot of dicks. And like I said, if you're a player, baller, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it's like, at all them 50, 5 dudes, you're about to meet number fucking 1. Go ahead and compare me to all of them. Sexually, emotionally, all of it. Go ahead. Every single category, go ahead and compare me to all of them. So, this is going to work out well for you and me both. So, what else? What was I talking about? So that. And then this broad got off the bus in front of a Walmart. It was a store, and I thought, well, what the hell? Does she live around here? And then I did actually stalk her because there was some weird shit happening, so I decided I got to do some shit, and I connected the dots. She used to live up there in Loveland. Now she lives in Denver, or did. Maybe I don't know. I'm assuming Kleber still does because she works down there, so she probably wants to stay close to work. Mrs. Butthead, I don't know. I don't know if she still works there. Probably wants to live close to work. I don't know if she's living with the Gweed. I don't know if they live in an apartment, in a house, if they got, plans. Maybe this is all bullshit. Maybe she doesn't know I exist. If she is, don't care. It doesn't matter to me which way or the other. I'm not that guy. But, it's the same, skirt. It was the skirt. White shoes, same build, built like a pear, same hairstyle. And she was, itching her hair. She was, ruffling it. So, I don't know. So, and like I said, I state this just because, who cares, Her problem, not mine, Same thing with you, Katie Boo, the whole Christmas thing, what's her name, got the Christmas shit out. Does she really like Christmas, or are you, in cahoots? I'm just saying, I'm not that guy, I get to say this. I'm just an observation, that's all. It's a little bit early for the Christmas shit. And, in your case, you'll have to take that leap of faith. Mrs. Butt just has to destroy this dude, and divorce him and be like, it's not you, it's me. I love you, but I'm not in love with you, I'm going to go off to my fantasy boy and live out my fantasy for the rest of my life, happily ever after. And I may or may not have to deal with him. Who knows? Maybe it's never happened to him. No bitches left me. But like I said, he actually looks like a dork. He's not actually. I just sort of said that just being funny, and Mrs. Butthead, and this is the best she's ever had. And he's a decent looking dude, somewhat fit, but I mean, what the fuck? Probably only got a 7-inch dick, not a 12-inch, Dude ain't shit. But, lost my train of thought again. So yeah, he might not, that might be a first for him. Plus, if he genuinely is like, Ma, I met a girl, and she rips his heart out. So, Mrs. Butthead, I don't envy you. So, sucks to be you. All them shit-eating grins are not. Anyway, yeah, Katie Boo. I mean, shit, you're gonna have to pack up and move down here. You're gonna have to make all new friends. So, I mean, if wasn't a troll did that sort of thing and this wasn't complete and utter bullshit, I'd make it worth your while, and I'm sure you can make new friends, no problem, But and the thing is, here's the thing, like on the TV shows and stuff, where the wives or girlfriends of the dudes on TV, they always become friends with the husbands or boyfriends of the wives or girlfriend's friend. Yeah, I have no fucking interest in that whatsoever. So it's gonna, Jim and your stallion stud, yeah, they should be friends. No. Well, I mean, we're gonna be doing stuff together. It's gonna be like a couple on couple, couples night out thing. So, anyway, the universe has spoken. Real quickly, let's just top this off with a. Let's see. This seals the deal right here. I actually like 4th of July. So I got all my food pre-made for next week. My protein intake and all that shit. So let's see what the 4th of July says. You will soon be singled out for a promotion. Congrats. Cool. I don't think it works that way, but it'd be nice if it did. Hey, new guy. How'd you like to be promoted? Skip right to the front of the line, or at least the middle. All right, cool. Boats and water are in your future. Well, okay. Like I said. Well, Katie Boo. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? The whole thing, where she was. So, Mrs. Butthead. Plus, I had a dream about like an airplane. It was like a single wing airplane that crashed, and then there was a boat. And the ports, there was water out there. And, father and son, the contractors, that helped, built my shed and whatnot. Father and son duo, and they pulled up here in like a patrol boat, like in the movie Jaws. What's his name? What was his name? Gordy? Brody? Officer Brody. Like a little whatever. And let's see, Miss Butthead. She was in the river that one time. The first time she showed her thong. Hams. She wasn't smuggling hams. She was like, hey, look, world, got a couple of hams I'm transporting. And now she's smuggling pumpkins, I'd say, with submarines, sticking out the bottom of them. And, but yeah, she was all splayed out, on one of them, what do they call those? Knee boards, body boards, whatever, where you just like paddle boards. Again, in a stupid, funky ass, thong, and just her ass cheeks were just about hanging off either side, just all flat and shit. So, well, she doesn't have the shape, she's not all plickety plack like you, Katie Boo. So I don't want, kind of pit you two birds against each other, but I don't know, maybe it wouldn't hurt. I'm not suggesting. I mean, you want to, but I understand that you gotta. Number one, you don't want to give in to me. I know that, and I respect that. And you also don't want to be too sexy. I mean, you've shown lots of videos where I could see your panty line. Like I could see the gusset line, where it doubles up down in the crotch. But it wasn't like high-cut, sexy shit that went up the back of your ass cheek. It was just like stupid shit. So if you wanted to do like a whale tail, visible panty line with the proper cut and all that, that might be a bit much. Plus, you've got a bunch of fans who are like, you're so pretty. and shit like that, which probably makes you feel good. It flatters you, but they're not me. But, it's up to you. You want to. I'm not saying yay or nay. I'm not suggesting you should. I'm just saying, you want to, and it wouldn't hurt my feelings if you, threw on some thin, tight spandex with a proper thong, pulled up high enough where you could get the whale tail up over your hips. Don't have them sticking out, because that's trashy. With proper lighting, and yeah, so, because Mrs. Butthead, well, she wants me bad. So, she's married, for fuck's sake, to the best thing she's ever had. And he's the settle. So, I don't know. I guess I'll just sit back and see what happens.